There we go. Hi, everyone, whether you're here live or you're going to be watching it on replay. Um, Tonight, Rita, our coach, mentor, life coach, inspiration, she's going to be talking about the struggles to success. And so grab your notepad and get ready to take some great notes. And Rita, thank you. And we're ready to hear what you have to say.
All right. Thank you, Coach Teresa. So Coach Teresa is such a blessing. She really has been just such a dedicated member in Freedom Mastery and just friend. She just shows up all the time. And I love you so much, Coach Teresa. Thank you for that introduction. And welcome to the call, Freedom Mastery, our inspiration call each week. Hi, Miss Paulette. I see you listening. And anybody that comes later and watches this replay, I just want to say that I appreciate you taking the time to pour into yourself some inspiration and just something to edify and inspire you and those around you, right? Because we know that, you know, whatever we have for ourselves oozes and exudes all around us to everybody. So, you know, this topic tonight was really on my heart this last couple of weeks and on this journey that I'm on, traveling the USA, also building a business online, you know, just wanting to be the very, very best mom and wife that I could ever be. That's my heart goals. And, you know, when we focus on success, I mean, just think of the word success, first of all. It means something different to everyone is key. So, you know, the really, really most important thing here to remember is that our success will never, ever be someone else's success. And that what other people have found for success is an amazing example for us. And it does mean it's possible. But when it comes to the details, right, and that hero's journey, right, that's what my mentor Robert Hollis calls it, the hero's journey. You know, that process is where we will absolutely find struggles in you know, it's challenges, it's getting somewhere that is unsure and uncertain along the way, right, which is life in general mostly, but there are ways that we can find certainty along the journey as well. There are ways we can find certainty in that process getting to our success, or even just seeing ourselves as already successful today. How about that? How about if we could leave this call claiming we are successful today, right now, instead of seeing it as a getting to somewhere or something or some title or some, you know, accolade. And we know we have goals. We know that. I know that. And I do as well. But it's very important to just come back to the basics and remember what the basics are so that we're not struggling towards our success, right? So we're striving and just flowing towards it versus struggling. It does not have to be a struggle. And I'm going to give you 4 basic, simple things right here today that we can do in this success cycle. So I posted an image today in the Journey to Freedom group, and I called it the success cycle. I don't know if you saw it. If you haven't, you can go and take a look after this. But that really, really inspired me. However, I want to mention something really, really important about that post. So that success cycle, if you remember, it started with thinking, and then thinking leads to an idea, and then the idea will lead to us trying something, and then trying something, we'll be doing it eventually, and then we just do it again and again. We keep doing it, and then that pointed to success, right? But what comes before the thinking, right? Because we can all agree that every kind of thinking and the vast variety of thinking out there doesn't always lead to success. I know in my experience, in my own journeys, there's been a lot of times I thought I was thinking correctly, and it wasn't really leading to where I wanted to go. It was leading me somewhere. But if you remember, that cycle to success was an inward circle, right? It's inwardly and it's continual, right? So it never ends. It continues and continues and continues. However, what I visualized, and this just came to me when I saw that, if you try to go the other direction, versus in, and you're trying to go outward. So that would just be maybe a path that wasn't yours. Maybe that's somebody else's path that you've been following, but that may not be right for you anymore, or it may just be a season of change, right? So just always be aware of that, and be aware that every now and then we've got to come back to our journey and take a look from a broader perspective. So I like to just think of it as I'm up in the sky and I'm looking down, and it's just a very, very broad perspective of our success. And it makes it so simple then to really see ourselves as successful when we view that things that way, very broad versus very detailed, right? So my mentor and I, we choose to follow a system that gets us results. And this is not only in business, I'm talking about life as well. So when I say system, what I always refer to when I say system is first my morning ritual. That's part of my everyday system. If my morning ritual is not in place, I'm not following my system that leads me to success. I know it. And the only way I know it is because I've just been doing it a while. I've just been practicing, and I just kept doing and doing and doing. And then I started to see the successes of that morning ritual. Now, my morning ritual is not going to be the same as yours. However, I do believe that it starts in the morning, and it starts with you personally, solely on your own with nobody else involved. Yeah, it starts with you. So let's get into some details. How do we do it? How are we going to get success and not focusing on our struggles? So one is be consistent in creating. So there's so much we can create. And I do think that the most valuable creation we could ever create is our relationships. The relationships we create with each other, with our children. It does, again, my personal value system, I believe it does start at home. When I was focusing on creating outside my home first, before I put the priorities within my home where they needed to be, everyone's got different priorities depending on whether you're the mom, the dad, you work, you don't work, it's all very personal. However, you want to make sure that your priorities are where they need to be. That way the success is going to follow, and it's going to be that inward spiral that continues versus a random success and then a random success. So prioritizing where you're putting your creating, right? And I just choose to create first at home. And I have found that so much follows after that. So, this is something another mentor of mine has always said, that if we are going it alone, our journey, our road, it is by choice. It is absolutely our choice to create relationships or not to. And I just inspire you to create those relationships and prioritize that and be consistent doing that, because then when the time comes and there is something that you need, you're going to have a community, a village around you, holding you up. We're giving to you, serving back to you. So relationships are highly, highly valuable. And then create in your art and in your heart. Pour into whatever it is that gives you that energy, that vibration energy. For some people, it's music. For some people, it's creating art, content. For some people, it's basic writing, journaling, drawing, whatever it is, and sometimes if it's been a while since we've done this, sometimes we have to think of what did we like to do as a child and kind of really, really take it that far back to the basics. For me, when I'm creating content, again, I like to obviously build back into my relationships, my home. I create relationships on Facebook consistently 5 days a week. Another way I create is I watch my mentors' courses, and then I take notes on that. And then I create my own courses based on that. As far as my business goes, we want to create value, right? We want to give value consistently, even if no one's watching in the beginning. Or even though you think no one's watching, they are watching, and they will come back and tell you, I've been following you for a year, and I'm just blown away at your consistency, and that you keep coming here and showing up and giving value wherever you are giving value. It doesn't have to be on Facebook, but wherever you're doing it consistently, it's going to get noticed. It will get noticed, and you will get recognized whether you want to or not. And then you're going to see success. And it's that spiral. There's no way out of it. Right? So consistently create, and you're going to absolutely find success. Absolutely. In one way or another, it's going to come. You can't get around growth, right? When you're creating, we're growing, and there's just no way to stop that. And my children remind me of it every day. When their high waters are are noticeable, when their underwears are, way too small. Growth doesn't stop. And as people, even though as adults, we still continue to grow. So if you're looking for content to grow, go into the files section and start with the Science of Getting Rich series. And if you don't already know this, this is not copyrighted material. This is public content that we have been given. I was introduced to this content by Robert Hollis and Melody Riba, and we're allowed to share this and create courses and charge whatever we want for it. So there is a map here, and there is another way. You don't have to depend on a network marketing company. You don't have to depend on a business, a boss, a job. There's another way. It's a very creative way, and it's a way that most people don't realize is here. So I'm here to let you know that there is a way and that it's here for you. Check the files section. Okay, so number 2 is patience during progress. This is very important because this means we always are having progress. This means that progress is happening every single day, and that as we grow, to be patient with our growth, be patient with ourselves. It's so important because the world is not patient with us. The world wants to rush us. They want to get us into a system. They want to beat out the creativity and be in the system. They want us to be efficient. They want us to be producers. They want us to do. And we're not machines. We are human beings, and we are supposed to be being before we're doing. And I do believe in my own life, that is where I struggle. I find I struggle if I focus more on doing versus on being. So that's where I find my patience. I'm not a patient person. I wouldn't consider myself a very patient person based on my, just the way I am as a person. And I have practiced more patience in my life. But I think that what really helps, and this is just what's helped me and my mentors as well, is just following a system, realizing that progress is continual, and that seeing it again from that bigger picture, right? Because when we look at it at a month's perspective versus a 1-day perspective, right? I can see I enrolled, 12 new customers and affiliates this recent month. Focus on your recent growth. Look at your recent growth. Document it. Write it down. Write down. I documented my growth on Facebook today. I have never recognized my new team members, and I started doing that today because that is my growth. And if we don't recognize our growth, we might forget about it. Other people might not know we're growing. We might not be that example of a leader that others are looking to us to be. What to do. People are looking at us saying, what do we do? Especially if you're in a company. If you're in a company and you are a leader, people are looking at you to what to do. So they go to your Facebook, and that's how they know what to do. People that are coming in behind you. But also in our families. Our children know what to do when they get into, challenging situations. They know how to be patient by how mom is patient. And I see it. I see them doing the things I do. And when I'm not patient, they repeat those things. And I just want to be a duplicatable leader. So I work hard to be patient and just to use the system I found to be consistent, and then I'll also be patient so that I'm a good coach. As a mom, as a coach, I feel like being a mom is a coach. I feel like my title as a mom means coach. I'm coaching these little beings in a way, right, on what I'm finding to be successful. So time will tell, right? Time will tell when our kids, and Coach Teresa knows, Paulette, I know as our children grow, they begin to tell the stories of their family and of, what we're doing, what goes on behind closed doors. It comes out. Success leaves clues, and also not success leaves clues, right? So anyway, let's move on. Number 3 is set standards before setting goals. Setting goals is important, but if our standards aren't in place before we set our goals, we might be on sinking sand. We might be on a journey that's heading away from success, our personal success, might be headed to somebody else's success. Set your standards, know that you're going in that right direction. But also, we never want to get stagnant, right? We never want to look at our goals at the end of the week, maybe, and see that we've not grown, right? See that we've maybe gone backwards. But the important part is knowing, just being conscious that there's going to be seasons of change. There's going to be seasons where you pour more into your family than your business, or where you pour more into your business during these seasons. Like, I know Coach Teresa is a big, she works with, New Year's and taxes and all that. So this is a season where she pours more energy into that. However, I see other areas of her life growing. I see her husband posting how he's just so happy about the things that she's creating at home, so it all flows in. Know that seasons will change, absolutely will change. And that if we know where our standards are, our goals can be flexible. We can be flexible with the daily actions we take. And I'll tell you why, right? So right now, this couple of weeks, just for an example, I have not had the greatest Wi-Fi. I've not been able to do a live video on Facebook for almost 2 weeks. It just has not been in my schedule. It hasn't worked out in my schedule. And I know I'm doing what I can, right? But I also know I've been consistent for like a year doing live videos for my business. So now I can see that I'm okay to be flexible. It's okay to be a little more flexible now. I can share previous content that I've already got out there. You might have seen that. I shared a video from a year ago that I did. And it was a really, really neat way too to see my own personal growth. Not only in my business, but just in my own self, like just how I see my videos from a year ago, and I see how now I accept myself more as a person. I am flexible with the way I talk, my mistakes, the way I am perceived. I'm okay with it. It's okay if they want to see, point out my eyebrows or point out my hair or point out whatever. I'm okay with it now. And back then I was not. I was so worried about it. So, we all grow in different areas, right? Personal growth is huge for me. As a child and an adolescent, I did not grow very much. I look back at my life at those times and I see where, it did appear to be maybe stagnant, or I just wasn't growing as much as I maybe other people were, right? Or maybe as I could have imagined myself. But I don't focus on that. We focus on today, and I focus on where I'm growing now. So number 4 is borrowing belief. This is the last one. And, Robert and Melody have been a great mirror for me. They have been able to mirror back my strengths, and they've been able to remind me of the results I'm having when I don't see them for myself and when I don't believe in myself. And, in the beginning, when we start a new journey, it's hard to believe in ourselves because we don't see the results of what's coming. Whatever it is, whether it's a personal thing, like maybe it's my hair and it's a new product. And is this going to work? I'm spending $25 on this. Is it going to work? I'm just going to do it. And let's just see the process, how it goes. Letting go has just been everything for me. And when I know that I'm going to give you a visual because this was very powerful for me. Today, I was helping my son swim. He's not good at swimming. He's 4 years old. He's never swam before. He was at the other end of the swimming pool in the deep end, but he had a floaty on, but I could see it in his eyes that he was so hesitant. He was unsure until I looked him in the eye. He did not have the belief that he was going to make it across the pool. He did not have the courage and the certainty to be consistent and to keep pedaling and to keep pedaling. But when he locked eyes with me and I saw him and I said, I see you, buddy. Come on. I see you. You're going to make it. He started pedaling and he didn't give up. And he was consistent and he saw that he was going to succeed. And to me, that was very powerful because though he's a child, we as adults, we have an inner child. We all do. And, having someone to believe in us in all that we do, and especially specifically when we get into a new territory, a new journey, right? It's so powerful to have someone believing in us when we're unsure of our own self, our own growth, our own, what we're doing. But I'm going to come back to number 1, or back to the beginning, right? Our foundation and our purpose. We can rest in that. And I want to inspire in you to lead with your purpose, to lead with your voice. I want to inspire in you to lead with your heart and your soul, not with a product or service or not even another person. Lead with you. Lead with what's in your heart the next time you are growing and building your creations, whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, whatever it is. Start with you and lead with that, and allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to, be judged, right? To be picked on, maybe, to be bullied. If we don't put ourselves out there, yeah, it keeps us safe, not putting us out there. It keeps us comfortable. It keeps us feeling really good about ourselves because we don't know what anybody else really thinks. So I challenge you to put yourself out there, put your heart on the line, and be courageous, and know that I believe in you. I believe and I know that you're worthy and that you're worth it, and that whatever it is you're sharing from your heart is valuable and is worthy and is a true cause and a mission, whatever it is, because I know you. I know you. If you're here on this call, I know you all, and I know your hearts, and I see your hearts, and I see your service. And I also see the needs, right? I see why we're here. I see that we also have our own needs that we're filling, and that we're, collecting together as a mastermind, so that we're benefiting from everyone and each other as a symbiotic relationship together, right? So thank you for being here and being part of this, because without you, there's nothing here. I show up because I know you're showing up, and I love you all. Thank you if you're here live. And I don't know if you can see my phone moving, but we're in a windstorm in New Mexico right now, and it is like the whole camper's moving. I'm like, blow away. Oh my gosh. But if it's still recording, so we're still here. So thank you for joining live. I want to leave, I do want to leave you with the call to action, because this has been something that I've been challenged to do in my own life. So I want to challenge you to share your mission. If you have found your mission and your heart's purpose and your cause, to share that with several people over the next week, to reach out to somebody. It could be a current friend, it could be a new friend. But just, I want to challenge you to ask someone, and this is all you have to say, may I share my heart with you? And that is it. That's a simple question to ask. And it's a really great way to open the door for a bigger conversation with people, right? May I share my mission and my purpose? And if they say yes, and they're open to hearing, be brief, and then ask for theirs. Okay, then ask for theirs, because it's a call to action that a lot of people aren't making. A lot of people are making connect with 5 new people a day, and that's it. That's a good thing to do. I do that every day, and that is what what helps me build myself and grow in my own life and business. But also, there's those other things that we must value, and that's being. Who are we, and who are we being, and who are we asking others to be? So ask others, what they're being, what their mission is, what their purpose is. Start asking for big, purpose-driven conversations, and I'm just finding that it's leading to a lot of open hearts, right? Yes, you just have to find it. It's really so true. So I'm going to go look and if you want to come out of chat, I'm going to pull up here. Yes, Paulette says everyone has successes, and that is totally true. And again, you have to find it. And a lot of times it's being reminded that we do. And, others out there that are looking for those reminders, it's a humbling thing to do as an adult, to say, hey, I'm here for support. I'm here to be reminded that I am a success. But as adults, we need that too. We absolutely do. And as I'm giving it to my children, I see how much other adults also need it now. And, it may or may not be because they didn't get it as a child. It may or may not. But the truth is, we all still need it, right? We're all human beings. We're all connected, a connected consciousness here. And the beauty of a mastermind is that we do all share energy here. We do all create a space of safety and comfort, and to just give and serve, right? So I love you all. Thank you for being here. And if you have anything to share, please come out and share it. Positive vibes. Yes. Happy campers. I'm always sharing happy vibes. And you know, the truth is, it's not that we don't have other vibes, right? It's not that those struggles aren't there, but it is that we don't focus on them. You know, it is just the fact that I'm not focusing on them. When I go to make a post, what I'm inspired to share and post and talk to people about is what's life-giving and is what's uplifting. So, you know, it just turns out that Facebook and, you know, when you talk to me even a lot in person, it's just going to be a lot of happy stuff. And that's just where we're focusing. So I'm inspiring you to do the same. And I love you. And we'll talk again soon. I'll see you around in the community in Freedom Mastery. Check the files. Feel free to invite to the group. And then also, I will see you next Thursday at the same time, same place, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific. And I love you all. And then I'll pass it back to Coach Teresa. And I'll just let you know, Coach Teresa, that's something that when our coaches are introducing on Melody's call, they give that information at the end. It just came to my mind, so I said it, but I will let you know.
Well, thank you for everything that you had for us this evening, and can't wait to be on the call next Thursday. And we'll all be watching you out in Facebook land, and you keep teaching us, and we'll keep teaching everybody else.
Yay! Yes, yes. Amen. I love you all so much. Bye-bye.
Love you.